Hi, my name is Graham Goodings and I'm a cancer survivor. If you have cancer or are close to someone who has, you're well aware it's a life-changing event. When first told, you feel so helpless and alone, and that's just the start of the journey. But after the initial shock, there are things you can do and must do to take back control of your life. Your doctor will give you all the information he or she thinks you need about treatment, whether it be surgery, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, a combination of all three, or other forms of treatment. The final decision on what course of action to take will finally come down to you. So, where do you start? That's what this DVD is all about.
When people are told that they've got cancer, it's quite an overwhelming experience. Cancer, we talk about it as if it's one word, but it's actually a whole range of different illnesses, and people's reactions to cancer can be just as varied as the illness that they've been diagnosed with. We do, however, hear some commonalities in the types of feelings and emotions that people experience when they've had cancer, and they talk about things like being shocked, feeling of disbelief, how can this be happening? There's a sense of anger, frustration at times. People can feel embarrassed, sad and upset, obviously worried and anxious. And sometimes even people talk about a sense of relief because they've known that there's something that's not quite right, and then they've now got a reason for that and a plan for dealing with it. So sometimes we hear positive emotions in response to a diagnosis of cancer as well.
The role of the counsellor is really to provide a space for you to talk about whatever it is that's concerning you, whether it's emotions or any thoughts or fears you may have about the cancer diagnosis.
We full well know with child development that with small children up to about 7, 8, 9 years of age, they're very concrete, literal thinkers, and simply you wouldn't want to say things in a very graphic way like you might to an adult, because we understand that children really are still in their fantasy times, and they would misconstrue and be traumatised by what you might have to say to them.
There is good news in cancer. Every year that goes by, more cancers become treatable and more cancers become curable.
A lot of people see radiotherapy, surgery and chemotherapy as alternatives to one another in the treatment of cancer. That is not true. There is a need for surgery, there is a need for radiotherapy, and there is a need for chemotherapy, and often all three treatments are necessary in the treatment of the one condition.
Integrative medicine is a form of medicine where a doctor integrates various elements of healthcare. So the best that conventional medicine has to offer, but also evidence-based complementary therapies, a big emphasis on lifestyle, and also the used in a holistic sort of approach. The importance of exercise really can't be overstated. We've known for a very long time, there's been decades of research gathering to suggest that exercise prevents cancer, but what's been really interesting in the last few years have been studies on people who already have cancer and looking at whether or not exercise makes a difference to recurrence and survival rates.
People often think supportive care, or I don't need support, you know, as in someone holding my hand. But it's a term that is across a whole range of ways that people who, when they're diagnosed with cancer, might find they want.
I think when people are first diagnosed, there's often a guilt. What have I done wrong? Why have I got this? And hopefully in speaking with us, that's something that we can dispel those myths that people feel that there's something they did that caused this. Another thing is deciphering some of the medical jargon that can be very overwhelming in the beginning when you're first diagnosed.
As if battling cancer isn't enough, there are many practical issues to consider. Who's going to pay the bills while I'm off work? How can I get sickness benefits? Can I get assistance to pay for a carer? And if you live outside major centres, a whole range of extra challenges, like travelling long distances to get treatment, having to leave your work and your family. Well, there is help for you with travel assistance and affordable accommodation. All you have to do is ask.
The end of treatment too, there's that sense of now what? What do I do with my life? While people around you are celebrating because the treatment's finished and they think everything can get back to the way it was. And it won't get back to the way it was because of this huge experience that you've had. But there's going to be a new life and a new you.
You can view this DVD all at once or skip through to the chapter that interests you. Use it as a resource that you can keep coming back to as the need arises. At the end of each chapter, there's a page telling you where to go or who to contact if you need further information. Just pause the DVD if you need to write down details. You're about to head off on a journey, or you may already have started. Many have gone there before and countless more will follow. And this DVD is designed to help you along the way.